Forbes released an article asking, why do Indian airlines keep failing? India has the fastest growing economy in the world, and yet we've recently seen the fall of Jet Airways and Kingfisher when their licenses were revoked. Indigo has been a success story, with their 2023 financial results far exceeding their rivals. Maybe the onboard experience is so good you wouldn't consider flying anybody else. I suspect not. So we investigate further as we fly from Bangalore to Chennai. Good morning from this very beautiful and sunny day in Bangalore. In today's video we're travelling to Bangalore Domestic Terminal 1. That's because we're travelling with low-cost carrier Air Indigo. If, like me, you want somewhere comfortable, fun and with a great vibe, this is the first Moxie hotel in India, and it's part of the Marriott group. Besides a wonderful pool, I've discovered Gulab Jamun, which is possibly the best dessert in the world. Yes, I said it. Moxie is only 10 minutes from the airport, so I'm hopping in an Uber, and while on the way, let's discuss Indigo further. The story of the airline is pretty incredible, having been founded in 2005 and flying a year later. They took the bold move, and this is pretty incredible, to purchase a huge order of aircraft before even launching services. And over the next 6 years, they grew to become India's largest airline. And that's worthy of celebrating. In fact, in 2005 they purchased 100 Airbus A320s worth over $6 billion. I really wish I had that kind of spending power. Perhaps I should follow Mr. Bean's advice and start begging. What made them popular was their very low fares and clever advertising.
Passengers with preferences, they're fragile items, itemized. Operations army that keeps every aspect synchronized.
On your journey there up in the air, we'll handle every hassle. Great with kids and seniors to tourists and multinationals.
By 2010, Indigo had become the third largest airline, leaving Air India trailing behind. 2011, and they're going by another 180 Airbus A320s, consisting of NEOs and CEOs, allowing them to enter into the international market. And last year, Indigo controlled nearly 55% of the domestic market, with the next largest competitor being Vistara, who we flew and absolutely loved. But they only dominate 10% of the domestic market. Going to Indigo's website and looking forward to June 27th, we're comparing Bangalore to Chennai. There are 11 flights a day, of which Indigo operates the lion's share, starting at 1,682 INR. That's slightly cheaper than Akasa Air at 1,886. Even Air India were priced higher, but to put this into context, they're going through a major overhaul, and should come out looking pretty good in 5 years' time. But that's another story. I'm beginning to see how they're keeping costs low. AirAsia has a similar model in Kuala Lumpur. Self-check-in desks put the strain of check-in onto the customer, providing very minimal staff check-in desks, which reduces wages. It is pretty fun sending your own luggage off, but it did fail to scan the bag twice. Looking around, the only attendant was busy.
Computer says no.
So trying in for a third time, I got lucky. I would normally do a lounge tour using Priority Pass, but unfortunately I got up a little bit late today because I realised last night I'd rescheduled the flight because it being cancelled something earlier. So I've just got about enough time to walk around the terminal. My original booking was for a flight departing at 11:35, but that was cancelled, and they gave me a flight at 5 AM. God no, what were they thinking? Anyway, after a bit of fiddling around with the website, I managed to put myself onto the day's flight at a much more reasonable 10:05 in the morning. Having found a comfortable seat, I'm doing a bit of plane watching. And I've seen Akasa Air. Ooh, I've just remembered why I'm not flying them. You see, I wanted to, and their product looks pretty good, but their payment section of the website is crap. And after 7 failed attempts, I contacted the Twitter team and even tried writing to the CEO. It appears you can only pay via a local bank account or credit card. Sorry Akasa, it just wasn't meant to be. There's a surprising amount of planes with the windows at the front cracked or missing. I had no idea. GoAir, whose livery is very similar to Indigo, was a major player in India, but declared bankruptcy in May 2023, blaming the impact of issues with Pratt & Whitney engines, and then went into voluntary insolvency. It's going to be a very short trip today. Let's have a look at the route anyway. This very short hop takes us east towards Chennai, and the journey will take 1 hour exactly, covering a very meagre distance of 182 miles. One big improvement I have seen with Air Indigo is the fact that for the boarding process they have dedicated boarding positions, and they've also got signs as well which help, especially if you don't speak the local language. Something that Air India and Air India Express don't seem to do, and it can create quite a chaotic situation, so hoping for a very pleasant boarding queue. Unlike boarding Air India, which was chaotic and stressful, Indigo has well organised queues with signage, so you can almost glide onto the plane. The plane for today's journey couldn't be newer, and it's on board an Airbus A321 Neo. Indigo has 83 in the fleet, with the oldest being 5 years old. After the carnage that was Air India's boarding process, I'm actually pretty excited to board today's flight. Indigo's Airbus A321 Neo has the same seats across the entire plane, going back as far as row 37, with the only upgrade being the extra legroom on the bulkhead seats. So on the A321 it's pretty generous because it's 30 inches of pitch and 18 inches of width, which is an inch more than the A320, but also quite a bit more than Air India. That pitch makes such a difference, and besides the usual negotiation for the armrest, which I had does go all the way back, particularly useful on nighttime flights, if you find yourself alone that is, the usual standards all apply. A good sized seatback pocket, a good amount of leg room, and a sturdy grey tray table. It's pretty uncommon for short-haul planes, especially low-cost carriers, to have a safety video. So instead, here's another one of their lovely marketing adverts.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, since civilization, we had a realization.
If you want to see the rest of the video, the upcoming videos on our channel, and also the details for the flight, they can all be found below.
Just keep the mobile phones and flight photos totally secure.
Food is on the way, but in the meantime I'll read the onboard magazine. Why is the word hello stuck in my head? What's the reference?
The water's boiling.
Hello!
As with any good magazine, it carefully suggests destinations the airline travels to. And this is the second time I've seen this advert for the Marriott in Goa. It must be a sign. Perhaps I should visit. Towards the back is the 6E Eat. I haven't quite established why everything is 6E, including the flight number. It's a little bit like Apple with everything I this, I that. If you were hoping to be entertained besides the magazine, then you've chosen the wrong airline, because Indigo is a low-cost carrier and doesn't even have Wi-Fi. The presentation of the food looks anything but low cost, in this very cute blue little ribbon string bag. containing pomegranate vitamin D drink, a pack of pepper onion cashews, and 2 biscuits. The email stated that I could also request a drink. Not sure if this included the drink already with the pack. I made a request to the cabin crew, who then forgot. In true low-cost carrier style, you probably will have noticed this before. If you've ever flown out of Birmingham, jet bridges cost more than the bus transfer. This is referred to as a remote ramp, and sometimes can be far from the terminal. A bus transfer costs far less because of higher fees, ramp operators and liaisons. I'm not going to complain though, because I walk quite fast, which helps with immigration, and will give us some gorgeous sunny views of Indigo's Airbus A321 Neo. If you weren't paying attention or just missed it, Air Indigo is just like Ryanair. It's all about driving those prices lower by not spending where possible. Yes, they don't have Wi-Fi or onboard entertainment, but this was such a pleasant flight and really well organised. They aren't quite as fulfilling as Vistara, but they're not a low-cost carrier. I was also surprised by the amount of seat pitch and hope they don't watch this review and choose to reduce it in the future. I can't get over how cheap this was. £16 one way, not including bags, meal or priority boarding, is an absolute bargain. This is my first time in India, and I really have fallen for the country. Perhaps consider checking out our other amazing adventures.